we found out about Green School back in 2018, before it was even a thing. We came up here in 2019 when it was really just an idea. It was a dream. And I'm a big advocate of that saying, like, if your dreams aren't big enough, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And I think we were inspired by the idea of this school, even from the very beginning. And once we came up here and saw the location, and we met Mike and Rachel, and sort of we were inspired by it, basically. So it was just that idea alone inspired us to rally behind that. I think when we see ideas like this driven by people, you can't help but be motivated by that to sort of like, let's do this. This is awesome. And so I think that was the catalyst for sort of starting to explore that idea of moving to Taranaki, seeing that it eventually became a reality. Like those ideas, once a year or two later, once those buildings were first built, it was like, oh my God, this is actually a real thing. This is going to happen. We jumped on board. So our son Nakoa became school age in 2021, sorry. And so, we thought it was an amazing timing that he turned school age right when this sort of school was kicking off. And we thought it was just, such an amazing opportunity to start his education in such an inspiring place. What drew us to I guess, what Green School was advocating for, or what their mindset was really the founders thinking differently, being brave enough to think outside the box. And I personally, I'm drawn to that, and my partner Amber is as well. And it's like, in a sense, that was enough. And that, like I said earlier, it's like that's the inspiration. And so we like to rally behind that. On top of that, our son is happy places in the outdoors. And we connected with that very early on. So we just couldn't picture him in a typical classroom having to, sit by his desk and stay indoors all day. We just did not think he could thrive in that sort of environment. So with Green School being located in a place like Taranaki as well, outside of the school life, we knew this whole region would support, sort of feet in the grass kind of upbringing. And the outdoors, the location. I grew up in a setting like this in rural Australia, so I have roots that I have fond memories of in this sort of environment, and I wanted that for my son as well. So the environment here is a huge part of that decision, for sure. Our expectations in terms of learning weren't part of the decision at all. It was really like, for me, I always sort of think back to, okay, what did I draw from my childhood, so school time education, and it was relationships. I was really lucky that I fell into a really great group of people that I spent most of my school years with, those relationships were awesome. And I feel like this was a foundation for a good community to grow around with, really solid ideals that he would hopefully find good people to connect with. And I think, more than what was on paper and what he might learn academically, we were just drawn to the community, the experience, and the relationships that he could benefit from. So Nakoa's journey, he's like a year and a half into his school now. So we've seen a lot of change, like physically, how much he's grown, but but also just emotionally as well, being secure in this space. Obviously, first year of school for any child is difficult, and sort of seeing him being very hesitant and shy early on. When he first started, compared to this year in year 2, where he just runs off, in the mornings. It's a bit sad as a parent. He's just not saying goodbye anymore. He just takes off and he's happy to run to school in the mornings. But that change in his confidence since he started has been a huge thing. And even just the feedback from him occasionally, just saying, hey, this has been the best day of school ever, and we'll hear that multiple times. And it's just so reassuring that, people ask, oh, how are you guys going in Taranaki with your move? Because it's big for Amber and myself. But, yeah, it turns back to like, you know, how is Nakoa going, because this move was for him, and the fact that he's thriving is yeah, that's all we needed to sort of know. And yeah, and it's great to see that he's continuing to grow and having a real passion for learning as well. I think he's been given great opportunities to yeah, let his mind find what he's interested in, and yeah, he's real keen to learn. He's just yeah, we've been getting some great feedback from the teacher, but we also see it in himself and his inspiration with how much he wants to learn day to day. Yeah. If you're sitting on the fence about a decision in coming to the Green School, I think come and just check it out, because you really get a really good sense of the space and the people. Images don't do it justice. Video helps in a big way, like some of the videos that have been shared about Green School are starting to capture the essence of this place. But I definitely recommend just popping in and meeting the people, meeting the other parents, meeting the teachers, seeing the space. Like, it is such an inspiring space that there has been a lot of thought. I know that Mike and Rachel, the founders, have put into the architecture, because architecture can be inspiring, and it's great to see this in an educational space where we've got inspiring buildings. And I hadn't thought about that being a huge factor earlier on. It's impressive, but the fact that you can be inspired by architecture, like we all want to go back to school now and learn again because of this space. And I think if people came and sort of physically saw it, yeah, you'll either find a connection with it or you won't. But I think it's a big part, if you are on the fence, to, yeah, come and check it out, and that'll really help guide a decision. I don't think anyone who's come here and seen it for real has gone, oh, nah, not for us. It's, yeah, it's quite a cool spot.